Venezuela's role in the drug war has sparked intense debate, with President Trump labeling the country a very bad actor and threatening escalation. This week, the Trump administration warned would-be drug traffickers that they face the same fate as those killed in a U.S.-sponsored attack on a suspected smuggling vessel in the Caribbean, a move that signals a dramatic shift in the war on drugs and a deepening rift with Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro. Trump's sharp rhetoric came during an Oval Office meeting where he accused Venezuela of being a destabilizing force. Venezuela has been a very bad actor, he said, framing the U.S. action as a necessary step to curb the flow of illegal drugs into the country. The incident, which involved a naval strike on a vessel linked to the notorious Tren de Aragua gang, has raised questions about the U.S.'s true intentions. "We have tapes of them speaking," Trump claimed, suggesting the boat carried massive amounts of drugs and was a major threat to American security. Behind the headlines lies a complex strategy. While Trump's specific plans for Maduro remain unclear, the administration appears to have two main goals: blocking drug trafficking and applying economic and political pressure on the Venezuelan leader. A senior source close to the White House suggested that the aim is to force Maduro into making reckless decisions that could lead to his downfall without deploying U.S. troops. Another insider noted that the administration had privately signaled last week that the situation was about to escalate, with Maduro facing a lot to worry about. This approach ties into a broader geopolitical battle. Marco Rubio, a key architect of U.S. policy toward Venezuela, has long advocated for regime change. As Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, he has pushed to undermine Maduro's government by denying him legitimacy, accusing him of election fraud, and linking him to the Cartel de los Soles. The U.S. has even doubled its reward for information leading to Maduro's arrest to $50 million, signaling a hardline stance. The controversy deepens when considering the potential consequences. A source speculated that Russia, once a staunch ally of Venezuela, might withdraw support if the U.S. continues pressuring Maduro. "It's a house of cards," the source said, suggesting Maduro could flee the country, possibly to Cuba. This scenario raises a critical question. Is the U.S. aiming to overthrow Maduro, or is this just a calculated move to control the drug trade? The recent military strike on the smuggling boat surprised many in Congress, with Democrats and Republicans alike left in the dark about the operation's details. Rubio defended the action, arguing that traditional interdiction methods failed against the cartels. "What will stop them is when you blow them up," he said, echoing Trump's warnings. But critics argue that such tactics risk escalating tensions, especially as Maduro has blamed the U.S. for an alleged military invasion. The U.S. has also increased its military presence in the region, sending 3 guided missile destroyers to the Caribbean. Analysts call this a significant show of force, with experts noting the scale of the deployment is decades in the making. Meanwhile, Maduro has deployed troops along the border and called on civilians to join militias, framing the U.S. as a foreign aggressor. As the conflict intensifies, the line between counter-narcotics operations and regime change grows blurrier. The State Department recently designated 8 drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, giving the U.S. new legal tools to target these groups. "They're not just drug dealers, they're arms terrorists," said Rubio, shifting the narrative from law enforcement to national security. What remains unclear is whether this is a temporary crackdown or a long-term effort to reshape Venezuela's political landscape. As the world watches, one thing is certain: the stakes are high, and the outcome could reshape the region's future.